Hi everybody, it is Jared and Chris with Day Traders FX. Nice to see you guys. Hopefully you can see us down here. We're right down in the corner there. A couple of small versions of us. Oddly enough, I didn't want you guys to focus on our faces. Usually that is kind of the goal, but we want to look at some screens today and see some charts and talk a little bit about how the week went for us this week in the Day Traders FX group. It was another, well, what would you call it, Chris? Good week.
I'd say it was challenging to the fact that our fills and our trade areas, the trade areas were fantastic. I was really happy with the directions we called. It was really just a matter of how precise the execution was. I think that was the hard part. We had so many quick movements this week, so many news announcements this week. But again, on the bright side, a lot of the members did a great job of being in the trade during the news or just before the news because they had small orders that all of a sudden proved super profitable. So, but we didn't really have here's exactly where we're getting in today. Here's the trade. But the area was, look, this is going to break a trend line. You've got some decent chunk to run, and the profits were filled and limited out or filled and profitable very quickly. So I think that made for a pretty exciting week as far as easy trades, easy directions. It was just a matter of how we participated in it. But overall, I think it was another just a really solid week and more exciting stuff to come because we've got some really good setups going into next week.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was definitely a good week. It was pretty interesting that some of the trades that we had this week, we were just watching some super technical setups, which is our bread and butter. We're looking for trends and we're looking for breakouts and pullbacks and patterns and and some great stuff like that. And what we saw is we had a couple of really big news announcements this week. We saw the Bank of Japan cause huge movements in yen pairs. We saw some central bank news in New Zealand cause huge New Zealand movements. And interestingly enough, these movements were very much in line with the technical setup that we were looking for anyway. We had, for example, a yen trade this week on the pound yen that was a fantastic rising wedge, a nice little break of support, just a very technically clean price pattern that we got into, and it ran for hundreds and hundreds of pips, and it was really motivated by the technical setup. But then the news came out and really just blasted that trade into massive profitability in a super quick hurry. We had the same type of a situation with the pound New Zealand. We had a nice trend line, a nice breakout area, a very clean price pattern, and the RBNZ just blasted it right on through there. So it's always nice to see. I think a lot of times people think news can be really just this wild thing that goes totally against whatever the market's doing, and sometimes it does, but oftentimes news can really help a technical setup that is ready to go anyway, and this week was definitely an example of that. And so those were two of our biggest, kind of fastest gaining trades this week, were two news-related trades that had very clean technical setups and just gave us crazy profits in literally the blink of an eye. So that was pretty exciting.
Yes, it did. Would you like to go through some of the charts, just kind of recap what we have here? I mean, I know that this is on the low end for we had really clean directions on 5 to 7 trades. I would say maybe our best member for the week probably did 500-600 pips, maybe more. I mean, I just know that I know that I don't know if can I say their name? Is that okay?
Do it.
We'll get him to sign the disclaimer. Donovan was, his broker platform froze, but he opened up his pound New Zealand when he got it back to 250 to 300 pips in profit. I know was it Lilla or Linda that had over 270 pips in the pound yen?
Right, Lilla.
So,
she almost cleared 300 on that puppy. That was amazing.
Yeah. So just in those couple trades, so I mean, even on pound New Zealand, pound yen combined for 500 to 600 pips, and pound dollar was a break of 4,400 that ran well over 250 pips. Pound Swiss, we were starting small and scaling in, but we got a nice trend line break around 4,200, and it's already dropped 200 pips since then. So lots of good opportunities on. I mean, we're talking well over 1,000 pips worth of movement. And we're just happy, of course, that everybody was able to take a nice, significant chunk of that. So, moving on, if we want to see those charts, I'll go to the pound Swiss. I'll have some of these levels up here, And all you're really seeing here on the pound Swiss is there's your clean trend line break. We had some early entries going on around 4,000, and we kind of scaled in a little bit higher. But we keep coming back to this, and I'm sure if you're watching these recaps every week, you'll keep hearing this tone and this theme of left side of the trend line, right side of the trend line. It wasn't a lot of fun being over here and seeing like, man, is this thing going to break the trend line? And then once it breaks the trend line, look at how easy it got. Came right back down to some automated trend lines, came right back down to some pivot levels, and just the kind of natural ebb and flow of this explosive movement to the upside. And we just had a little bit of retracement, and it was very profitable. It just took a little bit of time, but it worked out really nicely. Pound US dollar, same scenario.
One thing real quick, going back to that pound Swiss franc.
Yeah, sure.
That was obviously a great little trade. Made a nice move onto the right side of that trend line there. One little tiny teaser, and I'm going to leave everyone's appetite kind of unsatisfied here. One of the biggest motivators of this trade was the indicator that we use, the 200 moving average indicator. Very simple indicator. That tracks some statistics and numbers. If you would like to learn a little bit more about the indicator, there will be some details below this video, so you can get some information about that. But a very, very clean, very simple indicator. It's not one of those magical red dog rollover crazy whatever kind of trades. It's just some statistics, some numbers that prove to be incredibly powerful, and it was absolutely the case with this pound Swiss franc this week.
Yep, and the week before that was EuroCAD EuroAussie. This week was also we had pound New Zealand on the 15-minute chart. It was lined up beautifully as the news broke, and it broke right through that 15-minute 200 EMA. The pound Aussie, I think, hit it overnight. Same thing on those numbers. We talked about this rising wedge. So as the explosive news happened in Australia, that obviously weakened the Australian dollar. But it's interesting that the numbers were calling for a decent retracement back to the line, and you get over 100 pips of movement combined with a nice daily pivot with that automated trend line, and it just kind of it just makes its way to it. It's a really beautiful thing. So those are fun to line up every week. It's amazing to have those trades line up each and every week, and typically they're good for 30 to 50 pips, sometimes more, and sometimes we like it so much that we're willing to add a couple positions and make it turn into some really substantial short-term profits. So it's a lot of fun, and I know we've had some really good trades over the last couple weeks just with that indicator. So it works.
Love it so much.
Here's the pound dollar. And I will say this on the pound crosses. We discussed for weeks of these pound movements. And one thing I was a little disappointed in, I expressed this to the members this week. The pound gap over the start of the week when we had Friday's close to Sunday's open, all the pound crosses gapped. And that kind of disrupted the idea of this was a breakout that we were watching above 4,400. This is the pound US dollar. What we wanted to see was we had some choppiness, right around that 4,400 level. The gap higher, it came right back down to close the gap. But what we were kind of looking for an entry was we wanted to see the test of that neckline. We wanted to see the test of that 4,400 level again. We didn't quite get it. But we had the direction, and I know that we had some members participating in that, and there was, several, daily movements where there's 150 pips on the pound dollar. Then it pulls back, there's another 100 and some pips on the pound US dollar. So pips up for grabs for sure. And again, just finding the direction. Even if you take this on a smaller time frame, you're going to notice you're just going to get some really simple trend lines. Something as simple as there's a trend line break. We've got a nice little cross. There's a really good support candle, and trend line break there. Trend line break there. Just something where we've identified the direction. We've identified this pattern and this trend. Now it's just try to find an entry, and there's lots and lots of ways to do that. So the good thing is when you identify the direction, we know that anybody that's coming in as a member, anybody that's coming in with a trial, if you've been around trading or you're learning to trade, you know that there's multiple ways to get the job done. But the hardest part consistently is just finding direction. And so I think that we do a really good job of waiting for these setups and waiting for these patterns and playing the right areas, and then we just know that everybody can take advantage of it in their own way. And some people like to auto trade this stuff. Some people like to be discretionary. Some people like to trade big sizes, small sizes. It doesn't matter to us as long as we're walking away, profitable at the end of the week. We're thrilled with that.
Definitely.
So,
I think it's definitely important to note too that, like you said, finding direction can be tricky, and that's something that kills a lot of traders. Just getting in at the wrong side of a major movement, and I think we do an awesome job identifying where these big movements are and where we can start to add positions and get into some of these big trades, as well as take some of these smaller trades. And it's important to note as well that there is a lot of kind of flexibility in the trade group. So we at the very least are providing great entry points and what I would call very accurate directions of the market. But on top of that, there's a lot of flexibility for people to trade things the way they want. But there's also that structure of, if you don't know what your trading style is, if you don't know how you want to trade it, there's some good specifics for those that are kind of getting started in the earlier stages and just want to know, where do I get in and where do I get out? So we have that as well. So I like it. Geez, man, if it wasn't my trade group, I probably would subscribe to it in about 2 seconds.
Well, the reality is, I know we talk about this a lot, but it's like, look, if we are making money on our live accounts, our members are obviously benefiting as well. I mean, I know one thing that it's complimenting is a lot of times the members are doing better than we are, because they will not forget about the discussion we had on a Monday or Tuesday, and you and I are kind of scouring and looking, but you took a great trade on the pound yen and killed it with your quick 80 pips, while Lilla made 300 pips. I was doing a live session for the RBNZ, and everybody was like, my broker froze, but I'm in and I'm up 300 pips, and it's like, all right, that's great. And so I had to wait for the next section to try to take any movement on that. The pound US dollar, I made a quick 50 pips, but it was over 200 and some pips of movement. So pound Swiss was one that was nicely profitable for me this week. Pound yen I didn't take. That was that's just my scary opinion of the yen pairs. I haven't had the fun that Jared and the group have had with the yen pairs, but that is changing because I like how we look at them, and
I'm converting you over. You're
I'm going to get back out there, man. I'm going to get back out there. Yep. So, but yeah, good stuff. And then pound CAD, dollar CAD. In fact, I'm watching the pound CAD right now, and we're again back up around that 100 and some pips, positive from a nice bounce off the weekly pivot. So we're again, if people want to take shorter profits, we're up 100 pips. I'm in for a couple positions and kind of collectively up about 150 pips and looking for, this is the end of the month and we're going into a new month. So I'll be looking for another, 100 to 200 pips probably on this trade to make it worth my while and see if I can get a few extra bucks on this one. Again, it's just fun to keep having the consistency for the week. I know we're doing a lot of exciting stuff on the website, and I was kind of thinking that could be the direction we want to go after. If you want to showcase this old JPY, your trade was, hey everybody, let's sell it at. We had a joke of 160, 160, 160, 160.
We kept saying, say that 5 times fast, and then we all got
exactly. So this was the, even looking at a 1 hour chart, I know you had a bit of a rising wedge look to this thing, and again, just a really, really solid setup, and just played a safe break below that 160. It's 161.60. So don't think of it as 160, 160, because that's what it sounds like. But that literally was, this candle is this is an hour chart, but this same movement happened on a 1 minute chart. That's how ridiculously fast the news was. And so obviously for traders that nobody really sounded like they got slipped on the trade. It worked out really nicely, and some of them, the positive slippage that occurred from their limit was blown right through, which is even better. And I know brokers hate it when that happens, but we're talking 600 pips worth of total movement, and again, it happened in like a blink of an eye. So it was pretty crazy to come back and have that. We telegrammed that for the night, and everybody was high-fiving the next morning. So that was good stuff. And again, we're looking at much bigger stuff on the horizon for some of these pound crosses. So, but fun trade for the week.
Yeah, absolutely. Loved it.
You want to showcase the little hint of the dashboard?
Yeah, let's talk about the website here. So many of you guys that have visited daytradersfx.com, those that have maybe had memberships in the group or had free trials and kind of tested things out, there was a lot of kind of patching things together. We had a kind of a separate chat room and where we would do our chatting and video stuff, and then there was a website where videos and notes and details were posted, and you were kind of back and forth between a couple of different places. So what we have now is very exciting. This is just the members only area. It's not really officially been released yet. We're just in the very earliest beta testing stages, but it should be pretty much totally done in the next few days here. And it's everything all combined into one. You can see our daily videos, and you can attend our live sessions, and you can chat, and you can have everything all in the same place. Super mobile friendly, awesome area to log in and see from your phone, from your tablet. Great place, as you can see, members can chat, you can post. Hold on, there we go. My screen went crazy for a second. You can post charts and links and all kinds of great stuff, and it's just a really great area for members to get together. The biggest goal that we wanted to have is if we have a couple of platforms we've been using for chatting and for keeping everyone kind of together, and we really wanted to create a tight community where people could have an area to congregate and kind of talk about trading and talk about some of the things that everyone's going through and lessons you're learning and fun times you're having in trading and all of that. And so we've got that here now, and we're super excited about it. It's going to be just a really, really great area for members to get together, and it's going to be a really clean area to see, our trade alerts, our active positions, be able to track our trade history, watch list details as well for trades that are coming up that we're excited about getting into. Easy, and it's just an easy way for members around the world to stay connected and to be able to communicate with each other and to be able to get some good market analysis from both Chris and I, and get some trade ideas and some help with your trading and help from other group members. In the trade group, there's always been people that have never seen a chart ever before, and people that are managing money for others. There's a wide spectrum of traders here. And so some people, I've had people think or ask me, is that, does that make it, too amateur for the professionals or too complicated for the beginning people? And what it turns out to be is a really nice community feel where people can share their insight and help help some new people along, and likewise where advanced traders can chat with other advanced traders and talk about some of the techniques that they're doing, and we all just get together and share thoughts and ideas and just have a really good community feel. And the new website is going to be a great platform for that to all be able to happen in its best form. So we're super excited about this. There's going to be a lot of updates to the rest of the website. This is behind the login page, so this is for paying members only that you'll be able to access this. But the front of the website that everybody will be able to access will have some new fantastic content, some free stuff for everybody to kind of keep in touch with as well. So lots of cool, fantastic changes are coming. We're excited about it.
Absolutely. Anything else for this Friday, the end of the month, end of April? We're going to kick around with a fresh May and most likely have some craziness and wackiness next week, which will be exciting because we're certainly looking to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
But I think it's been another really good week. Just kind of looking back, early April, just always happy to be knocking out 100 plus pips, 200 plus pips, 400 plus pips. Have some weeks better than others, but again, identifying the direction, finding multiple ways to take advantage of it. And, like Jared had said, whether you're managing money, whether you're trading professionally, whether you're just getting started, at the end of the day, I'm a true believer that at the end of the day, we're all here to collectively be making money. And it doesn't have to be some, secret or nobody knows how to do it. It's like, look, we transparently look at the market, we find these trades, we will be as specific as we can be, but this is a 24/7 market with members that are all over the globe. Even Jared and I are not in the same location, so the fact that we can come together collectively and discuss this at really any time of day, it's an interesting market to keep tabs on. But at the same time, we do a pretty good job of making sure that we're monitoring it as much as possible without being asleep at the wheel every time that we do a live session.
Absolutely.
But we're definitely very passionate. Yeah, we're definitely very passionate about it, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So it's good stuff. But again, another great week. No music for you, but I will say that I did uplift myself with some Raining Men again yesterday. So I had to get my fill of that, and I was singing it around a little bit. So that'll be my soundtrack going into almost every week when we are positive. It's good stuff.
That's my soundtrack for life.
Exactly. Hopefully not, though. That's not for me. I don't know. If it's Raining Pips, that's fine.
That's right. So. That's right. No, very, very good stuff. Very good stuff. Another fun week. It's definitely been a good time. And you know, and like you said, next week's got some good potential. I've always found May to be a very active month in trading, so this could be a very nice time for any of you to stop by and get a free trial to the trade group. Also, link down below. Stop by and get a free trial and see how we trade next week. Don't take our word for it. Just come check it out. See what you think. Definitely no obligation. You can just click right on that Get Started button and join us for a week and see all the crazy antics we're up to in the trade group. So it's a good time. We have a lot of fun, and we're up until this point we're very consistently making some nice trades and some nice profits and having a good time doing it. So thanks a bunch, everybody. Have an awesome weekend. Have a great rest of your week, and get some good rest. We've got a big crazy one coming up next week and for the rest of the coming month, I think. So take care, guys. Thanks for being with us.
Yep. Have a great weekend, everybody.